Hey everybody, Michael here with Natural Law on the Go. Alright, this is a little reshoot of a video I made earlier. I wasn't too happy with how I presented it, so this is take two. Let's do it better. Come on, universe, help me out. Okay, we've got some important stuff to talk about today. We're talking about the law of one. As one suffers, all suffer. Earlier we talked about rights. What is the difference between a right action and a wrong action? And what are your rights? Right action being any action you take which does not result in harm to another sentient being. And the rights are the collective bunch of actions that you can take that do not result in harm to other sentient beings. We have quite a bit more rights than what we actually think of. Quite a bit more. Anyway, the law of one. This can be summarized by an old mystery school tradition. The mystery schools were the secret, I guess you'd say the secret societies wherein truth, physical and metaphysical, would be revealed to the initiates, those who had proven themselves worthy. Offshoots like the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians. Today, even most of today's major world religions use their same symbols, rituals, initiation ceremonies, etc. Okay, and they were degraded over time. Manly P. Hall is a fantastic resource to go to, especially his book, Secret Teachings of All Ages, as is Mark Passio. Okay, so the old ancient mystery school in Egypt, the Kemetic tradition. Get into that a little bit later, what the word chem, K-H-E-M, actually meant. They would ask their initiate, those who wanted to know the secrets of the universe, they would say, "Sir, how do you know that you are suffering?" And the candidate to be passed on or initiated answer correctly, he would have to say, "I know I am suffering because others are suffering." This initiate had to totally understand and get that the consequences of his actions not only would affect other people, but would affect himself or herself too. And he couldn't, or she couldn't, just do whatever they wanted to do with impunity. That basically the actions that we take here don't just affect other people, they also come back and hit ourselves. It's like a stack of dominoes wrapping around to whack you in the back of the head. Okay? I've heard that the Freemasons, in their ritual to pass a candidate from the first to the second degree, from the entered apprentice to the fellowcraft degree, not the fellowship, they ask the same question, and the candidate must answer correctly, but they just memorize the answer. It's different than coming to it on your own. So that's what it is. I know I am suffering because others are suffering. As one suffers, all suffer. And that's very important to keep in mind with our daily actions, what we choose to do for a living. Whether we support the government or not, whether we're a police officer, a soldier, or, as it's really said, a soul dyer, and whether we make war on other countries, make war at home, whether we force people to wear masks even though they haven't done anything wrong, they're not sick, they're just going about their business. Those types of things, they eventually come home and they're gonna hit you hard, okay? So that's what it means. That's what the law of one means. We are all interconnected. We are all in this together. And that might come as a not so nice way. It might be not very welcome. I remember when I'd heard, "We're all in this together," it would usually be by some schemy, greasy politician or some person who was trying to force me to do something that I didn't want to do, and so I rebelled against it. However, it is true. It can be twisted, though, for nefarious purposes. So that is the law of one. I hope I've explained it better than this morning. I feel a little bit better. Not great. Let's see. Let me collect my thoughts and let me try it again to close it out. I guess to most clearly state it, the law of one says that we are all connected as one big human family. As one of us suffers, all of us are suffering. So we need to work to end suffering for everybody. That does not mean using the government, though. In any case, that just adds more suffering. It means through our own care. That is the generative principle. That's what generates the world that we see. Whatever we care about will manifest. That's what the G means in Freemasonry, among other things. But yeah, the law of one, the generative principle, our care, whatever we care about will manifest in this world, and we have to understand that our actions affect not just other people, but they'll eventually come back to ourselves. So we'll reap what we sow. In Chinese, they say "zhong gua de gua, zhong dou de dou." That means plant a melon, get a melon. Plant a bean, you're gonna get a bean. And that's what it is. So It sounds quite simple, but it is very profound, very deep. And yeah, that's the law of one. And we'll see you, well, I won't see you, but you'll see me on another episode of Natural Law on the Go. Peace, y'all.